The Senate floor was a ghost town last night because neither side wanted to blink first. We are headed into Wednesday with no deal, a looming shutdown, and a House that's like, good luck. Let's talk about what actually happened in the Senate yesterday and what we can expect today. I mentioned yesterday that there would be a motion to proceed, and just as expected, the majority leader, John Thune, moved to bring the House passed budget bill to the Senate floor yesterday. So what happened? Nothing. Why? Because the Senate can't agree to start debate. In the Senate, most majority action requires 60 votes. Republicans only have 53, and Democrats are using that math to block the process before it even begins. Yesterday was about strategy, each side locking in to determine how they're going to move forward for the week. Today it's about math. So let's talk about the whip count. The whip is a leadership role. Currently, Senator John Cornyn for the Republicans and Senator Dick Durbin for the Democrats. Their job is to count votes and to enforce discipline. On Crisis Wednesdays, they conduct a hard whip count. The senators will go around and ask directly who is a yes, who is a no, and who's leaning one way or the other. I don't know is not an option for them. So if someone is a no, the whip will ask why and what will it take to change that no to a yes. This is where the deals and the guardrails and the side agreements are born. So let's talk about why the whip matters. Even though the House is gone, there's a lot of confusion on what good it will do. So yes, technically, if the Senate changes anything in the bill, it must go back to the House. And yes, the House is still on recess. And yes, this will risk a shutdown. So why does the whip count even matter at all? They are not counting votes to rewrite the bill. They are counting votes to answer one question. Can we get 60 votes to move this exact bill forward? Or is there enough pressure to force leadership to change course? And the whip counts will determine the direction the Senate moves. Path number 1, run the House bill as is. If the whip finds 7 Democrats willing to cross over, the Senate can advance the House bill, avoid sending it back, prevent a shutdown. This is ultimately what the leadership would want. Then there's path 2, where there aren't enough votes. Then that leaves room for negotiation. This is where the guardrails and those side agreements and any public commitments come into play. But also, it lets the clock run out and force the shutdown. So why does this matter today? The whip count tells leadership whether they can continue to bluff or if the bluff is over. The whips are going to realize they do not have the 60 votes to move the budget forward. Democrats are holding a 60-vote wall because, again, they are demanding changes to DHS funding and, of course, oversight. So the Senate is currently in a high-stakes stare-down. The Senate Republicans are holding the bill. The Senate Democrats are holding the vote. And the clock is holding everyone's feet to the fire. So what might you see on the floor today? I expect you'll see quorum calls. What are quorum calls? It's just a long, slow reading of the names. And why is this important? Because it's going to buy the leadership the time that it wants to negotiate off camera. So I want to remind you, this is why your calls are so vital. When we have moderate Democrats that may typically vote for the budget to be safe, they are listening to what their constituents are saying because they too have seen the footage in Minneapolis. And a vote for the budget could mean political suicide for them at the midterms. The reports getting back to the senators from the constituents are crucial. They are learning which constituents are angry, which constituents are fine. That information is being shared and it is making a difference. So again, my plea is for you to call your senators, require the oversight, require the transparency, let them know that you are engaged and you want them to act on your behalf because it's your tax dollars, okay? So 435 seats for the House, 35 seats for the Senate, November 3rd, because democracy is decided by who shows up.